Okay, we'll give it about another minute as people trickle in. And then please put your questions in the Q&A, and then the three of us, myself, Michelle, and Kenny, can answer throughout as well. Okay, I guess we'll begin as other people trickle in. But if you are here for the student breakout sessions for today for Advising Day, thank you so much for coming. I'm here underneath the College of Nat Sci, Jordan Nabanto, and we have Kenny from ICS and Michelle Tagorda-Kama from the Public Health Department as well. So I'm going to hand it to Kenny to kind of talk about what this is all about. And yeah.
Thank you, Jordan, for the introductions. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Kenny Kakmalka-Bilan. So we're here in Advising Day 2024 just to connect you folks with academic advising and your advisors in preparation for your first day, as well as to register for classes, which is coming next month. So as advisors, we get paid to help you folks in your academic journey. We're not here to tell you what to take, but we're here to give you options and guide you and help you navigate the higher educational system. Um, so just know that we're a friendly face here to support you folks, but do know that since you folks are the ones going to school, you guys have the agency to make the decisions and what classes to take. So basically, just to explain the advisor-student relationship, I kind of talked about it a bit. Students will take the initiative for their own academic career goals. We're just here as helpers to guide you in your journey.
Yeah, so to kind of give you folks an agenda about what we're going to be talking about today, and of course, we recommend meeting with your advisor one-on-one later on. I'll be going over the placement exams that you might be needing for your exam. So not all students, depending on your major, might take it, but these are some helpful things you might need to consider before registering for your classes next month itself. So the placement exams that we do have are chemistry, mathematics, Hawaiian or second language if you have background knowledge in that second language, and English if you are a non-native speaker. So I'll share in the chat right now the placement exam website, and we'll kind of go over. Let me go ahead and send in the chat. And then believe with the placement exam website, there is different departments that run these placement exams. As I mentioned before, with the chemistry and mathematics, it just depends if you need to take those courses. So we'll kind of go over each website and see how to navigate each one because each placement exam does things a bit differently. So with the chemistry placement exam, it is completely online um, through the Laulima website. So the Laulima website is how students take their courses, like kind of like Google Classroom, Canvas, but through the UH system, we use Laulima. So the chemistry placement exam shows screenshots on how to set it up on your end. So you have 1 hour to take this placement exam, 25 questions. The website also provides information on practice questions as well. So feel free to please look over them to see if you're ready. And the chemistry placement is not to skip chemistry courses, it's to make sure that you're ready to take that course. And it shows what scores you are needing for that itself too. So if you aren't ready for Chem 161, you would have to score an 8 and 15. You do have 2 attempts to take it during the testing period itself. And again, this allows you to take chemistry, but if you are a STEM student and you need to take biology, biology also requires chemistry for that placement. So it kind of has this trickle effect where if you're needing biology, you need to take the chemistry course, and to take the chemistry course, you need the placement exam course. If that's confusing, no worries. I would say take the time to read the website itself and talk with your advisor to just double check if that information does make sense to you. But chemistry placement exam is just one of a few that you might have to take depending on your major itself. Um, the other placement exam you'll probably have to also take is a mathematics one as well. They do the placement exam slightly different. They have it proctored, and there are 3 different ways that students can take it. So the math placement exam is done in person on campus. Let me see the dates. Oh yeah, so this is the on-campus math placement exam that the math department runs themselves. If you are not on island right now and you're trying to find a way to take the placement exam before you come to Oahu or before you register for classes next month, the two other options is if you are able to find a remote testing center near your own house, the NCTA approved testing center, and online through a Proctor U service. Just be mindful, since you are paying a third party, it does cost a fee to do the online version. The math placement exam has 2 parts to it. So look through the practice exams, very helpful. If we go through the practice exams, it shows what those questions can be. And then if I submit right now, obviously I have all of them wrong. So it also shows you what can be the correct answer. So this could also be a good study guide on what you need to do to help prepare for it. The math placement exam test students on high school algebra in part 1 with 24 questions, and then part 2 um, has 20 questions that tests you on logarithms and trigonometry. The website provides information on what scores you need to register for certain courses. So for example, if you are needing to be in Calculus 1, you do need to score a 14 and a 12 to get into 241, or a 14 and a 10 to get in Math 215. Other non-math courses that are quantitative related also show up on here for potential like placement exams as well. For example, if you're needing to get into Earth 150 for some of your majors, this is also the scores that you're needing as well. Other helpful informations that you might want to consider for the math placement: you only have one try during these testing periods. So we're on the last day for this time period. So tomorrow will be the new set of like taking the placement exam itself. If you're wondering like, hey, I've done SAT, ACT, potentially AP exams as well, they do have an exception list where you can kind of double check to see what you need to not have to do the placement exam as well. So previous scores that you've done for AP, SAT, or ACT can be helpful if you're trying to bypass a placement exam. But again, you can either work with your advisor or double check with the math department if you're wondering what do you need, or even if you need math at all as well too. So that was chemistry, that was math. And then as I mentioned before, if you're like, hey, I've done Spanish for all 4 years of high school, but I don't want to start at the 101 level. So you can check the Spanish website to see what their placement exam information is. This is completely optional. Again, if you want to start at 101, totally fine. But if you want to start at a higher level, you have the option of taking a placement exam of a language that you do know, to kind of bypass those requirements. And if none of these languages that you have background knowledge of is on this list, again, just double check with your advisor, but we can try to figure out what are some ways to show that you have language proficiency as well. Last placement exam that I did mention is if you're a non-native speaker, so it'd be through the English Language Institute, or ELI. Make sure you just follow their website information as well to make sure that you are taking the placement exam so you can get into the proper English courses at Manoa. So a lot of tests, even though you might be done with high school and stuff too. But again, work with us to figure out what you need to take. And a final thing that I would like to share is if you have a seal of biliteracy, the main kind of advice that we do give students is to contact the language department to determine if you can receive a language waiver or extra credits, so you don't have to do 4 semesters of a single language here at Manoa. So yeah, please put all those questions in the Q&A if you have more about it, but I'll hand it off to, believe, Michelle regarding the next part of our program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jordan. Hi, everyone. We're so excited that you're here today. Lots of people in the room and joining our webinar. So I'm really happy to spend this morning with you all. Thank you for putting in all of your Q&A. As Kenny and I were trying our best to kind of go through some of them. I know Jordan will help out with some of the ones related to the placement exam. So hopefully folks have been able to kind of get some of their answers or their questions already answered. So the next part of what we wanted to talk about today in this session is about STAR. So I know as I was going through the Q&A, there's quite a number of questions related to registration, which is, one of the really great delights that we have as advisors is really to help you make meaning out of your academic journey and using the time we have together as advisors to help you have those discussions of what classes to take and taking the right classes at the right time. And so the platform that we all hope that you'll become very comfortable with throughout your time with us and getting started with us this summer is STAR. So STAR, you can see the website there. STAR is the platform that you will use to see a lot of helpful information, and it's the primary website that you will use to register each semester. So that is the website, www.star.hawaii.edu. And so when you log on, you'll see this page, and then when you click enter, you'll go into a pop-up page will prompt you to log in with your UH username and UH password. So make sure you are able to do that. And I'm sure you all have already set up your UH username and password to register for today. But if you haven't yet, please make sure you do so since your username is really important to access many important websites. And so what I wanted to do today was actually demo what it would look like after you gone onto the page, logged in, and what would you see as a student? And so I'll go through some important kind of features that we have in STAR for folks. So we have a demo student that we hear who's a Bachelor's of Science in Biology student. And so when you log in as a student, this is your default page, the first page that will pop up, and you'll see that there's different boxes. Each box represents a semester. And so you'll see for this upcoming academic year, fall of 2024. Now in the chat, a lot of folks were asking, when is my registration time? And so I figured through this demo, it'd be helpful for me to point out some, again, important features in STAR, but also because STAR is so powerful in giving you a lot of information. So if you'll see my red cursor, you'll see each semester when you go to the box of that semester, right above this register add drop classes button, you'll see in red when your registration start time is. And so when we go into registration season, this is something you'll look for, right, each semester. And so you can keep in mind what is the day and time, and this is in Hawaii Standard Time, when your registration start time is. And so after this date and time is then when you can register for classes and into the start of the semester as well. But we know that some of the classes do fill up quicker than others. And so starting early is important, which is why, we want to celebrate you folks for being here today in Advising Day to really learn about advising and get a head start on preparing for registration. Okay. So again, this is your default page, the GPS registration page. I did want to navigate through before I dig a little bit deeper onto this page, introduce you more generally to the other pages in STAR. So we're going to click here to Academic Essentials. So your Academic Essentials page, you can think of this page as your digital checklist. It's a list of requirements that you have to graduate, requirements related to your major, so credits and courses. And I know right now it's kind of maybe intimidating, or some students will share overwhelming, but that is why you meet with your advisor, so that we help you kind of make sense of what this page is hoping to tell you, hoping that information that you can, always go back to refer to help you each semester registration comes along, or if ever you just want to check in to see how your progress is. And so this is the academic essentials page again that lists your requirements. I'm going to come back to GPS registration. Another page is what if journey. So a lot of folks in here in the Q&A were I think having questions about adding another major or maybe even switching a major. So the what if journey is great because it really gives students a chance to explore what another major would look like. And so let's say you take a few semesters of classes and decide you want to switch. Then you can select another major in this long list and then see what if I switched my major, what would that look like? Again, it's always helpful to work with a advisor as you're making these different decisions. Okay, another important page is your transcripts. So you'll see here transcripts if you have taken courses from other campuses. So maybe even if you've already taken college courses as a high school student, right? So early college. Transcripts will also show your AP or IB credit. So transcripts, very important place to be able to look to see. And for folks who are coming into our campus as a transfer student, we also have a place where you can see your transcript from different institutions that you have taken classes from. And so for folks who are transferring in from a different higher education institution, make sure you submit all of your official transcripts to our Office of Admissions if you haven't done so yet. And then the last link here I wanted to share is your scholarship link. And so we are strong believers in making sure that everyone, explores different options to fund your higher education experience. Financial aid is definitely one we always encourage students to apply for. And so scholarships here is really helpful because when you go to scholarship, all of the most relevant scholarships for you, given your major, will pop up. And then you can search to see again which ones would fit you the best in terms of maybe scholarships related to your ethnic background or being from a certain community or having an interest in a particular research area. So scholarships, again, we always like to encourage folks to explore all of the resources there are for you to fund your higher education experience. So again, STAR, very helpful for many different things. So I always encourage students to take that time to kind of explore these different links, kind of poke around. And if any questions come up, bring them with you when you meet with your advisor so we can help, again, make sense of this website and this tool because it definitely is something that is super powerful to help you on your journey. So I'm going to navigate back now to the GPS registration page because again, I wanted to kind of demo really quickly with you folks registration or what you would be looking at when you're exploring your different classes. So GPS registration was the name of this page was chosen very intentionally because when you folks think about a GPS, right, in a car, it's helping you get to a certain destination, right? So you can think about STAR in that sense where it's helping you get to your destination of graduation. And so our amazing engineers that created STAR put together kind of your best pathway forward through planning in your different courses, right? So as an incoming first year student, you'll see 8 different semesters. So that would be your 4 years to graduate in spring of 2028. Now, these courses can be moved around, but I always encourage students to meet with your academic advisor to make sure, again, you're taking the right classes at the right time. And as Jordan mentioned, right, you're taking maybe necessary steps even prior to registering for the right classes, like placement exams. So, so you'll see in this first semester, there are a number of classes in here that Jordan had talked about in terms of placement exams that you would need in order to register for these classes. So again, double check with your academic advisor to see if placement exams are needed for the classes you plan to take and plan to register for come July. So I'm going to go ahead and click this register add-drop classes button. That is the button students would select to start building their registration courses. And so all folks would need to go through this pre-registration checklist, making sure all of your information is updated and reading through very important policies that you have to follow as a student. And so I'm going to bypass this really quickly for the purpose of demonstration, and we're going to go to just preview. Preview mode for us as advisors help students kind of navigate through helping you set up or helping you explore what possible sections you might be able to register for when building your course schedule for the coming semester. So I just wanted to make sure I kind of just introduce you to different sections of STAR. We'll go left to right. So on the left side, you'll see many different filters that students can use to help narrow down certain classes. When it comes to different requirements that you might have a lot to choose from. In the sense, for this general chemistry class, you have just one class you have to make sure you choose a section from. But in some cases, like when you're choosing different general education requirements, for example, like this global multicultural perspective class, again, you'll see a number of classes to choose from. And so that's where these filters might come into, can help you in kind of narrowing down things like when courses are offered, the times of the day, and also additional filters here that might be relevant for other requirements that you're looking for. So again, the power of filters to help you in different circumstances that I wanted to make sure it's here for students to explore and use in different ways and with the support of an advisor. And then when we look toward the middle of the page, this is where it's where the information about the courses exist. So we have the course title. And so as a new student, we use a lot of acronyms. I know it's hard. And so we're definitely here to answer any questions about acronyms that might be not as obvious. So when it comes to this first example, AMST, American Studies, the course numbers right below it, 150, course title. And then the date below that is when the class is offered. And so there's some questions in the Q&A that, when does semester start, right? So the fall semester begins on August 26th and goes through December 20th. And then below that would be the days and times and location of the class. So we, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so Friday here for the F, 9:30 to 10:20 in Webster 104, as well as Mondays and Wednesdays, 10:30 to 11:20 in Kuykendall 101. Now, we use R for Thursday. So I always want to make sure when you're looking at your course times, and let's see if we can find a Thursday class in this list. Hopefully the scrolling isn't too rough for folks on the eyes. Apologies here. But it looks like a lot of these courses are offered on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, here we go. So we found an R, so that's a Thursday class. I wanted to make sure I give you an example of what that would look like. Also, while you're in STAR, when you're looking at where classes are, there's a helpful link here of the map, right? So the map will show you where courses are on our campus. And so you want to keep in mind when you're registering for classes or building your academic plan, your registration, when you're registering for classes, keep in mind where you have to walk to and from and how much time is in between your classes. So this map is a really helpful tool to kind of get a sense of where different classes are. CRN stands for course registration number. We have the instructor and their email if you need to reach them for any reason, and then the seats available so that you can see there's 20 out of 20 seats available. If you click expand, there's additional information here. What I like to encourage students to really explore is this narrative, right? So you know what the class is about. So you, if you have choices for certain classes, you want to pick a class that you're interested in, because naturally you do well in those courses. So that is my really, really quick demo of STAR and some of the pieces in STAR. Again, I know the first time you utilize this website, it's gonna feel overwhelming, and that's okay because again, there's lots of resources here for you in order to make sure that you're on the right track. And again, to get you more comfortable with navigating through STAR. And so we're definitely happy to help kind of get you comfortable using STAR. So feel free to continue asking questions. You can log into STAR and kind of get a sense of it. And when you meet with your advisor, we can definitely support you even more. So very quick demo here. I'm gonna switch over back to our slides to kind of go over more information as part of today's session in the student breakout session. So Kenny, I know, mentioned this in the main session, our opening session about our online workshops. We wanted to spend more time on this because we know that there might still be questions, and these modules within the YouTube page provide you some really good kind of tutorials to help you navigate through things. So it's completely free, open access. It's asynchronous, right? So you want to make sure you go at it at your own pace. You can pause if you need to take notes. You can rewatch things. And so it won't take too long if you go from the first video to the end, 1 to 2 hours total. But because it's asynchronous, you can really go at your own pace and watch videos that you are really ready for, right? So if you are super excited about STAR, there's information there about registration to help you get started. So here are some topics. The MyUH, there's a tutorial on the website, MyUH. Again, lots of helpful websites that exist for students. I know I briefly talked about transfer transcripts, but there is a tutorial to kind of help you for our students who are transferring in with credits from other campuses, how to make sense of what you're looking at, right? And in your transcript to see what courses you've taken prior to and how it's coming over at UH Manoa. More information to build off of Jordan's amazing information that's shared today. So a placement exam tutorial, more information about registration to get you confident and comfortable, right? Getting ready for registration. And then how to find your advisor. I know some folks are asking questions. And so our advising guide is a great resource for folks to use in finding contact information of advisors across our campus. And we have many amazing people that we call our colleagues who we work with on a very regular basis. Again, we're all here to help you, right? Our main purpose is really to ensure that we can help you achieve your academic and career goals. And so our role to help you move through and get you to the right places is something we're always happy to help with. And so here's the website. I know you folks out in the general session, but we wanted to share it here again to be able to go and see that YouTube page of all the helpful tutorials that are available. Okay, I will pass it over to Kenny for information about how to find major specific information. Kenny, I think you're muted.
I'm so sorry. I was answering questions and I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you, Michelle. So I'm gonna screen share as well, just so that I can share the links. Thank you then everyone for all the questions. Keep in mind, this is more of a general student session. A lot of questions, you can get more information at the specific live sessions for your college advising unit after this, but we'll definitely help you to find information as well. So let me just screen share real fast. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at the view point. That way I can move back and forth to the different links on here. So again, thank you, Michelle, for going over STAR. Again, more specific questions will be answered in your specific advising breakout session, which is after this. Thank you again for all the Q&As. There are some questions that are a repeat, so if we didn't answer your question, feel free to look at the answered questions. You might find it there. Okay, to start off with the specific major requirements, I know Michelle went over the Academic Essentials tab at STAR. In addition to Academic Essentials, we have what's called the program sheets. And I'll send this to the chat, and I'll make sure that's to everyone. In the program sheets, you can see the list of majors divided by the college. If you click on the program sheet, it leads you to basically a Google Doc form of the requirements you need for your major. I like to tell students that this is just a checklist version of the Academic Essentials page under STAR. It is through here you can see what requirements you need for your major. I know there's a lot of students asking in the Q&A if they need to take the placement exam, if they need to do a placement exam for a specific major, et cetera, et cetera. It really just depends by major. So check out the requirements either in Academic Essentials on STAR or these program sheets. These program sheets are very helpful just for you to see what you need. I'm also gonna send out like the course catalog just in case you see a course on the program sheet and you're not too sure if that has like a prereq or anything to it. And then if all things fail, just do know you can always make an appointment with an academic advisor, and we're happy to guide you and give you resources to figure out if you do need to take a placement exam or in what courses you need in order to take a certain class. In addition to a program sheet, this website also has what's called a plan template. The plan template is basically an example of what your 4 years at UH Manoa may look like. Again, this is example. So do know that you don't have to take it exact way it's listed. If you are worried about what classes are important, what classes are prereqs to future courses, that's a good question to inquire with your advisor. Which you can either do in later on sessions or you can do like a one-on-one. I do prefer one-on-ones myself because there are some specific information that we can't share out loud to the group, especially if it's your own specific academic plan. So one-on-one is pretty good, and we offer one-on-one sessions throughout summer, actually. I know it was one of the main questions if advising is open in the summer. Most of our offices are open during the summer, so we can always meet with you and help you in your academic journey. Okay, so that's the program sheets website. Again, I sent that to your chat. That way you have the information. Another resource that we want to share with you is our advising guide. Basically, the advising guide is the contact information for all the advising units here on campus. So I'll send that to your chat as well. That way you folks have this information. It's split into different disciplines, but if you want to list it from A to Z, you can click on A to Z and it'll show you from accounting all the way to whatever our last Z major is, which is, oh, we don't have a Z major. Our last major is Women, Gender, Sexuality Studies. So the way to use this resource is that you can find your advising unit, the contact information by clicking on the major you're in. For example, if you're a computer science student, if you go all the way to the C realm for computer science, we break it down by different tracks. Most students come in as the general track, but if you click on any of these ones, it will send you the information you need and how to book an appointment, how to talk to an advisor, things like that. So this is very, very useful, especially if you're trying to look for the advising unit for your major. If you're thinking about doing a minor or a double major, you can also find that new major minor that you're adding on to your academic plan through this website as well. We do have a list of majors, minor certificates on campus that you can choose from. Okay, so that's your advising guide resource. Before we kind of wrap up and do more Q&As, I know we have 5 more minutes, I believe, until the next session. I definitely want to stress that we do have academic advisors here from different departments doing live sessions today. If you need help in locating them, please return back to the conventions site that you're on to enter here. If you go on If you click on Advising Day 2024, you can see the live sessions of those colleges and units that are gonna have live sessions right after this. So like arts, language, letters, advising, business, etc., etc. If you don't see your college or your department, they might not be here today. However, they definitely wanted me to stress that they updated their exhibitor website. So if you click on their exhibitors, there might be additional information for you on how to connect with an advisor. I'm gonna go to the Science of Ocean Earth Science, sorry, School of Ocean and Earth Science and Technology, because I know she's not here today, unfortunately, but she did link some information for you folks if this is your school that you belong to. So yeah, live sessions again will be on the live sessions tab. You can look for your major or your college that your major is housed into on here. If again your major that your college is in doesn't have a live session, check out the exhibitors as well. And then for the folks that may not see their college at all, you may also click on the advising guide just to check it out too and connect with an advisor on one-on-one if you're not here today. Oh, so sorry, y'all. I think we just have a lot of people on the Zoom link, so we kind of crashed a bit. Okay, let me go back to what I was screen sharing and then just summarize what I discussed or was talking about because I'm not sure where I cut off. Um, Again, check out the live sessions. Those are the schools and colleges that will have advisors here ready to talk to students. If you don't see your school, college in the live sessions, go to the exhibitors. Some units are not here, but they left really useful information to students that are attending today. And if you want to meet with them in a future meeting outside of advising day, you can always use the advising guide to contact them and make a one-on-one appointment. But yeah, so I know we have a couple minutes. Again, we're gonna use the Q&A chat to answer questions. Again, check the answered section just to see if your question's already answered. And then if you're ready to head out, you can go to your live session for your advising unit. Okay, thank you all. I'm gonna stop screen sharing right now, then me and Michelle will probably answer some questions for the next 2 minutes before we end the Zoom call today.
Thanks, everybody. And I know I don't think we're gonna get through all. I'm just seeing how many open questions we still have. Save them, and I'm super confident your advisor will have the answer for them for you, since I think some of these are actually really specific ones to your field of study. But we're gonna try and get through some of the more general ones here. So, but yes, again, so sorry if we can't get through any all of them, but definitely save your questions and for your breakout session with your advisor.
Thank you, Michelle. Yes, this is just the first interaction with advisors. Just know that we're here for you folks. So do know if you have any other questions, you can always make a one-on-one after Advising Day 2024. Okay. For the interest of time, we're gonna end the Zoom call, but please, again, join the live sessions that are happening. I know Michelle has a public health session, so feel free to go, Michelle, if you need to. Have a good day, everyone, and thank you again for spending your Saturday morning with us. Aloha.
Bye, everyone.